Any idea what this is? This is Newton's cradle, and my 3-year-old got to it, and as you can see, they're all bunched up and tied together, and there's another one that completely came off. It's all just broken right here. And so history repeats itself. 24 years ago, my 3-year-old sister got my Newton's cradle and wound it all up to the point where I couldn't fix it, and I was so upset. I was so sad because I had a special spot in my room where I had all of the things that I really cared about, that I kept nice. And while I was gone to school, my 3-year-old sister got in and messed up a bunch of my stuff and destroyed some of my things. I was so angry. So here we are 24 years later, and my 3-year-old son gets into my room, plays with this Newton's cradle, and breaks it, gets it all wound up. And he's seen it before. I've shown him how it works, and he broke it. So he loved the idea, but he didn't know exactly how to use it or how to make use of it. And so because of that, it is now in a position that can no longer be used. I guess maybe some of you can untangle that if you really want to. But for me, I'm not a big detail-oriented person, so undoing that just takes too much effort. And yet he didn't know how to do it, so messed it up. And so there's some things in our lives that we're just going to mess up because we get excited about the idea, we start to do it, and we just don't know how to use it, and so we mess it up. And that is part of life. And so in this moment, though, I could have been furious. I could yell at him, I could scream at him, I could punish him for ruining this, or not. And in this one, I noticed it for a moment. I went, well, that's too bad. But then I was able to take a deep breath, let go, and recognize that this happens. This is part of life. And so for him, yes, it's important for him to ask to touch other people's things. Yes, it's important to be respectful to objects and things and use them appropriately. But there's also a learning process. And so now I've got an opportunity to take this to him and just say, hey, do you see what happened? Do you remember what I asked you to do? And I can teach him. And then through the process, help him understand too that mistakes are part of life. We are going to make mistakes. We're going to mess up. We're going to hurt people. We're going to do things that make things more difficult for us. Most of the time, it's not our intent to do so, but just because we're alive, we bump into each other, we're going to cause friction, and we're going to hurt ourselves and others. We're going to make mistakes. That's part of how this life goes. But I got to a point in my life where I was so afraid of making mistakes that I stopped trying new things because I was afraid of not doing it correctly. I was afraid of wasting money or hurting other people. And so this is a lesson that I've learned that I want to help my children and you learn as we move forward, that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. It's okay to unintentionally hurt people, right? Because in this life, we are in the process of learning, growing, and becoming. And so in the process, we can also learn to forgive. We can learn to let go. We can learn to apologize. And that builds character and helps us in our journey. Remember that you're a miracle. You have a purpose. Your life is worth living. It's okay for you to be you. It's okay for you to make waves. It's okay for you to be seen and heard and noticed in this world. Not everybody's going to love the energy you bring, but that's okay. Because sometimes the people who poke us the most are the ones who teach us the most. Think about that. The people in your life who've been the people that just rubbed you the wrong way, that just got you feeling like, chances are they've got some of the biggest lessons for you to learn. And they're some of the most powerful people that have been in your life. Those times in your life that have been very difficult, down in the deep valleys, those tend to be the times of our life when we learn the most, as uncomfortable as it may be. So today, I remind you that you're a miracle, that you have a purpose. I thank you for being here with me. Remember, I'm here at Hope to Cope every day, checking in with a message of hope to remind you that you're a miracle, that you have a purpose, and to spend a little time with you as you go through your journey. So thank you for spending your time with me today. If you've made it this far in the video, go and like the video, subscribe to the channel. Remember, I'm here every day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.